What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Juventus Football Manager 2022 Rebuild series. Leave a thumbs up if you've been enjoying it. And you can see officially we've come to the end of the season. We left one more, the final game of the season to play, but it was decided. Milan, they're not going to catch up. And that is amazing. They completely fell off. Remember that review I did after 14 games and they conceded 2 goals only? They just, like I said, fell off. We ended up having fewer goals and more. Well, obviously we're going to have more. We were always a good attacking team. I wonder if midway through the season they thought, hold up, maybe we're not scoring enough goals. They're seeing what we were doing. Probably not. It's just how their games played out. But let's go over to the stats. You always get a good idea of, or you can, take a look at which players were the best for the season, and it was Karim Adeyemi. So, he's definitely going to be the top of our stats, but he's the top of the league. 39 goals. That 77.87 minutes per goal, when that is that 88, immobility, that's impressive for a 33-year-old, definitely. Who would be more impressive from their stat? Someone who's older, 33, when you expect them to be declining, and then a 21-year-old who's, you assume, not at their best yet. That's intriguing. But you can see, Adeyemi, he just a bit more deadly. He was also offside the most time, so take of that what you will. He definitely had some disallowed goals. He and Immobile right at the top. No one is even close. As you can see, Osimhen there with 34. For a second there, I'm like, wait, am I pronouncing it right? And yes, it's 34. I'm like, wow. Okay, team goals, that's, that comes hand in hand. If a player is playing a lot of games, like Chiesa, he didn't get the most goals. That's the team goals. But he's got the most to his name because of his appearances. But the goals, 90 minutes, and you can take a look with Adeyemi how that is. And you got Cuadrado there. Tackles one, Artur was really nice. But those were the main kind of stats to take a look at, we'll have to say. Assist doesn't show up, so we'll click on that. And you can kind of just see by the Juve badge, a bit of dominance. But Cuadrado, this is no surprises. So we'll take a look at the squad for a bit. You go to assists, 18, and that kind of, these two are hand in hand. You got your key passes there, Chiesa. That's the chances created. Cuadrado just providing so much to the team, where the goals came through Adeyemi. And I think Kian was very impressive himself, because you're like, 6 more assists. Obviously, Adeyemi involved in more goals, but you tell by that, Kian, he does play a more creative role than Adeyemi generally. He's just involved in a bit more. Even though the key passes, Adeyemi has more. It's just, how that all played out. But from, how the team goes, Kian is very impressive at the same time. He has a great teammate, and Champions League 9 from 9. We got to get into that. So, Ajax, but Arsenal away from home 2-0. And then did you know what happened then? We won 2-1, which means it was not enough. I thought we would have had a stronger performance at home, but away from home, too disappointing. So we will go through that to the semi-final. You can see the results there. Liverpool over PSG, and then Bayern over Arsenal. Pretty tight there, wasn't it? And if you go to the final, Liverpool, Bayern Munich, 2 really big clubs. So we were a bit off that pace, getting knocked out by Arsenal. I even say Arsenal, with a bit of, an insult towards them. Really? We got knocked out against Arsenal? But if we hover over to their tactics, and Mikel Arteta still in charge, Martinelli, a lot of these guys, Martinelli, Smith Rowe, they got Odegaard, and they signed Declan Rice. He really beefs up their midfield. So, that's a change to the initial Arsenal, my initial Arsenal reaction. You put Declan Rice in that DM with Thomas Partey, and that is a really strong DM. That's going to be really hard to play through, absolutely for sure. And there's other familiar names there. You got Tierney, Gabriel, White, and Tomiyasu as well, Ramsdale. So they haven't changed a whole lot. They made a big improvement there with Declan Rice, and there's a few others signings, to rotate. But that's a superb signing, regardless how much they got him for. Like, he just comes in and plays, 88 million. You're like, oh, I wouldn't pay that much for Declan Rice. Regardless, you had the money to spend it. It's in, and you've just made your team insane. Like, really. Just partnering with Partey, and even just to see how he's rated as well. Yeah, like, he's very, very balanced, but having those two in DMs, and that's all we'll talk about it, but yeah, I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed with it. So yeah, I do really rate Declan Rice, if you can't tell. But that was all pretty much to say on the Champions League. We got knocked out in the quarters, and I got a comment saying, I hope we don't win the Champions League this time around, because we've got a young team and you want to see them develop. And I'm kind of that way at the moment. Obviously, I'm going out there to try our very best. And look, Adeyemi, look at 9.95 on his training. So he's seeing development with that. Like, next season, I'm expecting even better. It's hard to expect more than he put out, but like 39 goals in 36. No, you don't see that from the 34 starts, 2 off the bench. You do not see that, and that's been the last couple of seasons. We've been flying in our setup. Only signed for 14 million. So wait, I didn't even catch it there for a second. Be focused on his numbers. Another number, his value, 64 mil to 80 mil, and that's just that's his generated value. You know, this year when you offer him out, it changes their transfer value and that kind of weird stuff. But yeah, that's how it's completely at the moment perceived by the game. And you saw how much we signed him for. That's a bargain. That's a bargain. Come on, man. That's a great deal. So we've got to think, where do we rebuild, or do we rely on a lot of the youth players we have? If we take a look at just at the development center right now, what are the promising signs? Looking at like these guys' potential are nothing crazy. Personally, I prefer just to go to your reserves and youth teams and see what the potential is looking like. Coney de Winter here looks like the best out of these guys, but I say the best. He's very versatile. Maybe he could make a backup if he gets to his potential, if that gets as his current ability. But yeah, the B team, generally reserve level players there. And even in our under 20s, not a whole lot of... Look at this guy, Bayron Stridon. That's a name. Great development. We'll have to keep that up. I say that in a way where his potential isn't... Like, we want to have these 4-star, 5-star guys, but under 18s, obviously, where we had a bit of the youth intakes, there's a bit more here. So if we look at maybe a minimum of 4-star guys, and maybe the 3.5s could be interesting, but Demis, the goalkeeper, you see, he's got the highest potential, but for me, he's still a way off. Like, by his current ability, obviously. So, then we got Giovanni Materazzi. You know, these are recent guys we had off the youth intake. So, yeah, that was coming off that episode where it was said to, hopefully we didn't win this season. And you can see, I don't know if these other guys want to rely on for the Champions League. Because, again, look at that budget for next season. 86 mil, 600K. We're just going to the messages. So the board set initial budget, you can see that just in case, he may have used the editor for his budget. You have to always be on top of these things for YouTube. But yeah, so the chairperson announced literally that's our budget, so that's for sure. So for me, that's an amount where, we're really... If we can't do it, if we couldn't do it this season, we've got to put that money somewhere, and I'm still wondering. That's why I'm going just talking live to you guys here. Like, I'm thinking, where does this go? Quadrado's been amazing, but he's aging. Ruggeri, we brought him as a youngster that's going to develop. Do we need to get a superstar left back? But I was wondering that in the last season, but I didn't I felt we were going to blow our budget on a left back, and I didn't want to do that, so I went for a potential guy. So I wonder the budget now. Where do we blow that? I feel our centre mids are mid-range. They're mid. Like, the midfielders are mid. How about that? But I don't feel we have world-class. You got, the likes of Rabiot, Bentancur. Who else? I just highlight, Ramsey's going for sure. Arthur. They play roles, but they're not killer. McKennie as well, who's maybe even one of the better ones. 3.5 star, but they're all around this similar... he seems to have really strong attributes, but... far from, they're not the, I don't think you see them in a Champions League winning team. So maybe you guys can get your thoughts in. I think the guys who've signed already, Adeyemi and Foden, there's strength in those guys. Chiesa, very talented as well. And obviously De Ligt at the back. So it's interesting. You make another level of signing of Foden, maybe another good bargain one like Adeyemi. Yeah, I had to see. And I guess for his level, what I mean level, his age, like where he's at in his career, he just claims the best under 19 defender. So do we take something out of that? Like, surely we are like, yeah, of course. But I mean, to what level do you take? Because, yeah, it's just compared to other young talents. There might not be a whole lot of other defenders. But I think the fact of Italy being known for their defensive talents, him being the best for the year, like, I think you've got to take something from that for Matteo. I feel he's looking a bit stronger. I really think he's looking a bit stronger. Even if we go to his attributes, he's definitely improved. What we want to see is his progress. You get the idea. Just see something in... Go over to attribute. I want to click, these attributes. Some of the better, and I guess long shot's not important, but the ones that you can see here that are improving, I'm not going to click on them all, and we'll go since 6 months. And you can see some individual ones, like, I don't know how much they've actually gone up. Okay, marking. Marking went from 10, so they might have gone up by 1 attribute. That's not crazy. So, but I mean, you see composure as well. There might be a bit more of these now. Let's try and take these off. Because these two with those green, okay, let's try and, those are attributes that have gone directly up. These ones, as you can see. Look, the 15 of the stamina. Okay. Even though it's maybe it went back down. Anyway, you can kind of get a gauge. The composure, you see the composure going up. That's where it's the 15. So it's not like you've seen an attribute go up by 4 points, but you don't see that in a season. Maybe for a 16, 17-year-old who's having amazing development, but he's going to have steady development at this age. If his key attributes and maybe some others go up by 1 each season, maybe for the next 2, imagine some of these attributes being 1 or 2 higher. How do you start to see him? I don't know. I'm just saying what's going to be realistic with his development. He just had exactly that, best under 19 defender. So just wonder how much we take from that and how much further he's going to develop. So once more, this is just voting for the player of the year. Adeyemi Kian, Ruggeri makes that. He makes that with this crop. And we're voting for, Calabria because... we know. So we stand one of our players a chance to win. Real FM players know. We've been doing that for years. But we'd like to round things up with a final game of the season. And it is against Roma as well, against a decent side. And they've got something to play for. They're literally playing for top 4 on the final day. And could go up to as much as second. So important game, I'd say, from their point of view. So they'll be trying to win it. But for us, maybe mentally, the lads know we don't need to win. Foden, you do not risk a long-term injury here. I'm putting him whole out of the squad. Put Damsgaard, give him a link. You can see the links there. But Foden, bring him out. McKennie might get a run. Maybe for Bentancur, his morale isn't the greatest right now. We were trying to get his playing time up because, we didn't actually use him a lot this season. That's what we were talking about. We bring in McKennie, who's a bit more of a regular. He played 23 games in the league, so we still rotate a bit. 9 games in the Champions League, so he comes back in. I reckon we'll bring Artur for Rabiot. I still, want to go with probably our strongest team, and how we've been lining up a lot of times. But I still see that as a weakness. That's a little bit of an area of improvement, and we're not stupid. Even like Demiral, you never know. What if they get a knee injury? And that's like a 12 months recovery. It's possible. I just bring Inacio for the fact he's a younger guy as well. Adeyemi, play him on the final day. Try and the goal scorer, the strikers you want to play, and try and just add to their tally. So we'll go in, maybe add one more on the bench. Locatelli, switch it Bentancur. Maybe Bentancur. He's not even that old. He's 25, but might be a bit of a he's still got strong attributes, but he's that standard, that 3-star. We want to try and get to those 3.5 guys in, and we've got a real mix. So we've got to see. We've got to wait for the transfer window. 10 from a 12. I know we're missing out. Might as well just keep him on the bench, man. Let's get into it. And I guess this gives a different complexion to maybe what we did with Barcelona. Is this rebuild? There's no guarantees. it might be one that takes 5 or 6 seasons. How do you guys see it? Because look at Szczesny, Cuadrado. These are some guys in the first team. And then not just older guys, how we're talking about the central mids and the DM. Like, we've got some older guys in defense, a defender and a goalkeeper. And obviously we've had Chiellini retire as well. So there is definitely that. And of course, Bonucci for another experienced defender. He's contracted for 1 more year. He's wanted by Real Madrid. For me, you don't sell him. You keep him as experience and helping your younger defenders. But yeah, that's definitely a case. Okay, fans been fantastic. Yeah, that's great. That's great. Like, that's probably one of the best team talks I'll do, and maybe the best I've done for the season. And maybe after you have officially won the Serie A, you've won the title, it definitely is a good chance for that. But already, they had a chance and Szczesny saves, as much as that was offside. But yeah, I like when sometimes it can be the case where you're confused or you don't know where your squad's at, but I think it is pretty obvious we've nailed on, like, yeah, we've got a couple experienced, aging defenders are not going to be around forever, an aging goalkeeper, we've got a young talent, but are we going to be able to, like, have him instantly? I don't know. Szczesny, he's 33. He got 1 more year left on his contract, but he's wanted by Real Madrid. Are you going to sell him at this point for that price? Like, and especially if you're offering him out, you might need to lower it a little bit to like 10 million. Is it going to be worth it? Like, what could he do next season? Especially if you spend your money wisely and maybe make 2 big, like, world-class signings and then maybe a third at a bargain price like we did with Adeyemi. You keep your experienced keeper that maybe could get you over the line in the Champions League final, opposed to signing someone else because he's still that top experience level. So yeah, it's a nice situation we're in, like, where we're wondering, how are we going to get to that stage? But here's Veretout. It's a free kick that's taken, and Szczesny, like, I think, he's still shown me through the games we played this season that, he's still got it. He's still got it without a doubt. So he hasn't showed signs. So to give you that side of things, like, he hasn't shown signs of getting worse as a goalkeeper. He's played at a steady level. He hasn't been the best in the world by any means. And then keep in mind how much you may have to pay to get a best-in-the-world goalkeeper, or the money and time invested in a youngster that's going to get that level whenever that may be. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that. A few players already on yellows. Adeyemi. He's been finishing them this season. But we just ease off tackles for those guys on yellows. Now, Ruggeri whips it in, not quite. Well, he did whip it in. It just didn't result to anything. And here we go. The offside flag is up. But you can see our intent early, creating. But we got to be careful that we do not concede. Veretout puts in a good ball. Szczesny. Okay. Oh, no, offside. Offside. I was about to say that was a good save. But then I saw it in the back of the net. I thought he was in position to save. Goal, like, I thought this looked offside and the goal's awarded. So what can you make of that? Let's take a look at the replay, though. It probably is on, if we can tell there. But Szczesny, I thought, is that just one chance? Because I've been saying, no, he hasn't shown signs, not many signs of declining anyway. Like you see there. But maybe he was a bit close. So maybe that was a lapse in concentration. And it was a tight offside call too. So, yeah, it's a bit tricky. And final game of the season. I think if he hasn't worried me for the whole season, don't let one of those chances change my opinion for multiple reasons that we just mentioned. But now they look like they're getting in control. Oh my God, how much? Maybe if there's a few more of those, maybe we'll start the... No, but I can't in one game when we've already sealed the title, because you don't know how mentally that has it impacts the players and how much they're written off this game. Like he's there. He should get that. Like, that's not a bad position for him. Was that so powerful? It is Zaniolo, so it's pretty disappointing. Regardless, if we don't win on the final day, even though it's not important, as I said, it is important for Roma. We're better than this. I don't think we were overly bad though, but Roma have been better. I think I find it so hard just to admit defeat. Like, no, we haven't been bad, but pretty disappointing. Maybe we're just not having a good game where we've normally played well. There's no real... That's why I haven't really went on to make a change. And you could probably tell here, like, there's a bit of we could have maybe another winger in the team. Because yes, he's had a bad game, but when he's one of your better players, I would do this. Sometimes I'll go inside forward, just switch up the role he's specifically playing, role and duty, and yeah, it might create something. And then, like, he's the go-to. You're like, ooh, 6.1. Like, yeah, you can tell my reactions to that. And maybe give Aaron Ramsey some final moments. Maybe can see off with a goal. Who knows? So as you can see, the kind of way we're making that change. Just playing him because it'll be his final performance. Final minutes for the club. And that will be okay. It's, because you guys, you always want to see a win. You want to see a win in the games. But we did play out the league. And we won the league, which was very impressive for the season as a whole. Here, we've just played against a team that has had a bit more to play for and has a lot of quality in their own right. But we would love to see our own goal. Come on. Not conceding an own goal, but scoring one. Here we go. Adeyemi. He's had a couple chances. Honestly, he's buried some like that this season. So not completely disheartened by the performance. When you look at the stats at the end of the day, it's not too dissimilar. I mean, we even had a higher XG. I don't like to harp on that too much. Ooh, we should have won. We had a higher XG, but nah, that's all cool. What are we gonna say? I expect you. No, the season's over. I don't need you in training. What are we gonna say? We didn't win, considering, again, I always am about how the game reads us play. I always think that's, it tells a lot. It says this, but that we didn't win. We were on top and had a lot of chances. The game read us. Yeah. It doesn't make me so disappointed, but more frustrated that we didn't see a better, maybe output in front of goal. But yeah, very quick after that, we're done. We realized we won the league, swooped the league, and Roma pushed up to third. And Inter, pretty tough for them that they dropped down, and maybe it's fair enough. That game against Lazio, they scored late. Oh no, they were clear. They were needing to go for it late. And maybe if there was another 5 minutes, it might have been dangerous. But Lazio, you'd say they deserve that by scoring the first 3 goals of the game. Kind of like us, how we, not in our match, but how we, demanded that lead. But we were just that 1 point. It's not like we dominated. It's, at the end of the day, it was a 1 point difference. Very tight season. Even though it didn't go down to the final day, you see how that looks. See, Kian, I didn't want to risk any big injuries, and there could have been, man. You never know. Imagine you get one for a few months. Could impact their pre-season and the start of the following season. So, we're going to leave it there. Obviously, the big note. The big note is that we won the league. And I felt like I did more of reviewing the squad before we played the match. So, we will leave it there and give your thoughts where the squad is sitting. And maybe we'll just finish on that so you guys can take a bit look more of the players and their performances, goals, assists, everything. Values of the players as well, and expiring contracts. There's Rabiot. Yeah, we've let him move on to Inter because I've thought this process is what we were really. Like, we could have offered him out. Like, you look at him, he's a good player, right? But then I start to look at some of his concentrations, bravery, and that's why he didn't impress me in his games. And 27 appearances, not like this is over 2 seasons, mind you, not just this season. That's why he didn't demand to start above the other guys. That's simply it, to get the most starts. So, let me know your thoughts to do with our great budget as well. There's something, and maybe you start to look at the abilities. George, I'm not even sure about him as our backup striker because, he didn't really have much games, and I'm not sure if we're going to see the development in him. So, maybe while he has a little bit of currency, or can he grow a bit more? I don't know. We just haven't fit him in because we haven't had injuries. We haven't had many injuries to our strikers as well. You have seen like Kian, Adeyemi, and then, we'll have Chiesa that will rotate, Damsgaard a little bit as well. You can see from the appearances. So, but Ramsey's going out as well. So just, let me know what you guys think of the squad and what you would do with the money and where you think we need to target ourselves. Even if you may not know how all players are going in the save, like certain positions we should target and our current players. But all that information. So those of you happy we didn't win the Champions League, we are definitely, I feel, who knows? It all depends on our signings. We can't predict. But we might need to have some of those youth intake players. No, then it's not like they're going to come in the team next season. But if there's a disaster where we don't win the Champions League in the next 3 or 4, I think it will be like a bad thing. Like when you're getting that budget each season, Like, if we didn't get it, like, this next season we're going to play, then we get that budget again for the following season. Like, come on, we got to be using this money well. I think we did last time around because, yeah, Adeyemi was class and Foden showed, yeah, he wasn't the best player in the team, though. When you're spending big money, you might want them to be the best player, but Adeyemi still was a new signing. So that's what I mean. You bring in 2 more guys like that, maybe a midfielder, maybe another defender, and we can strengthen the team. But that's it for now. Leave a thumbs up for more, and I'll see you guys next time.